So today we are going to be making my favorite cookies for the season. These are called chai spice crackle cookies, and they pretty much taste like autumn in a cookie. They're light and fluffy, and the original recipe is not mine. I got it from a book called The Great British Bake Off Love to Bake, which you can get at your local library or buy online. I highly recommend looking for the original recipe, but I'll put my version of the recipe in the description below. I make a ton of changes because I don't have access to most of the original ingredients, but even without the original ingredients, I still think that they taste amazing, and I definitely think that everyone should try these cookies at least once. Here I'm steeping chai tea inside of the milk, and that just helps to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Here is my favorite part. Actually, listen to this. I don't know why, I just love the sound of chocolate cracking and breaking. I do recommend that you use baking chocolate bars instead of chocolate chips. I think they melt better, and you can also get it 70% dark, which is what I recommend for this recipe. When it comes to making cookies, when it tells you to beat the sugars and the butter together, always make sure that you beat them for at least 5 minutes. You want it to be nice and fluffy and creamy. Set a timer for 5 minutes and just let it beat. And then when it comes to adding the eggs after the butter and sugars are creamed, it is also recommended to beat it until it's fully incorporated, just adding like 1 egg at a time. This recipe recommends that you beat the eggs a little bit before you put them in, so I just kind of eyeballed 1 egg at a time. When it comes to adding flour into cookies, it's actually kind of the opposite. When you're working with an electric mixer, you want to add the flour in gradually while it's on low, but you don't need to fully mix in the flour before you add in the next bit. Because if you mix cookie dough for too long, you basically beat all the air out and you end up with flat, very dense cookies. So you really don't want to overmix your cookie dough. Just set it on low, gradually mix the flour in. If you see a little bit of flour left over, that's okay. You'll just take it out of the stand mixer and mix in the rest by hand. This ensures that your cookies will stay nice and fluffy. The dough will end up being very sticky and almost batter-like, but that's how it's supposed to be. You'll chill the dough for at least 6 hours, or preferably overnight, but while you wait, you can drink some water, eat a snack, or just do things that you enjoy. This time around, I was knitting and hanging out with my sister, just having a good time doing that. After it's chilled, you'll get 2 bowls and fill one bowl with granulated sugar and the other bowl with powdered sugar. And when preparing your pans, always make sure to share some Pam spray with your weird dog that likes butter for some reason. This next part kind of takes forever. Basically, you just scoop out your dough to about walnut-sized balls, roll it in your hands, dip it in the granulated sugar to cover it, and then you dip it in the powdered sugar to coat it. I always spray my hands and fingers with Pam spray to prevent it sticking, but you'll still need to wash your hands every 12 cookies or so anyways. I love putting in the extra bit of time into my cookies to make sure that they're all pretty and even and neat, but you can totally do this step a lot faster if you're okay with messier cookies. They all taste the same, and that taste is very good. Another reason this took so long for me was because I doubled the recipe. I'll make sure to try and not put the doubled recipe in the description. I always make a lot of these because, first of all, I have a huge family, and second of all, they're just so good. They always get eaten before they go stale. I always love to make extra so I can share with other people. I love sharing the things that I make with other people, especially when I know that they're good and it's maybe something that people have never had before. This time around, I shared half of the cookies with the teachers at my little sister's school for a teacher appreciation brunch that they were having, and I really hope that they enjoyed it. I didn't go because I'm not a teacher, so I don't know if they enjoyed it, but I hope that they did. When they come out of the oven, they'll just naturally have that crackled sort of look on them, because when the cookies grow and expand, the bits that have expanded will not have the sugar on them. And that's pretty much it. You just have to keep on going, rolling in the sugar over and over and over until they've all been rolled and baked. I ended up making myself an extra big cookie the size of 3 regular cookies because baking always wears me out now due to my disability. And spoiler alert, I ate the whole thing. It was delicious. I hope you all enjoyed this, because I know I did.